I moved to the States when I was 11 years old, so this was probably, I think, 1999. You know, we moved from Argentina because of the economic situation there. My father was a fisherman in Argentina, and we basically just sold everything we have down to like our coffee mugs to be able to buy some plane tickets, moved up here. Once I got a little bit older, I realized, you know, that we were undocumented, and I was undocumented for about 15 years, which really impacted sort of what it felt like to be in the United States.
The clock there is so valuable to the city because all this area was part of the Industrial Revolution. I am originally from Colombia, South America. I came to the United States at the age of 16 as a teenager. And so that immigration to the United States, as much as everyone is excited, as a teenager, I was traumatized. The city is only a 1 square mile, and it has 22,000 residents. So it is the most populated, if not the most, one of the most populated cities in the country. This is the middle school, again, the only middle school in the city. I remember crying for 6 months, asking my parents and begging my parents to send me back. I came to Central Falls because Central Falls was always a city of immigrants. And back in the mid-60s, the textile industry was in desperate need. When I say desperate, they were in dire need of loom fixers. We are currently located in the city line of Central Falls and Cumberland, where the 2 factories that recruited Colombians back in the mid-60s to come and work in the textile factories are located. This is, the way I see it is, this is the home of the Colombian immigration to the city of Central Falls and the state of Rhode Island. So they went down to Colombia to recruit workers, and my father was one of those who came in 1970. So in 65, the first 4 Colombians came, and every 6 months they were going to Colombia. And by 1970, when my father came, there were approximately 20 of them who had arrived. And like any immigration process, usually it's the men coming to work and then petitioning for their family. And as I said, my father was one of them. Like any other immigrant group, the community really grew. So as a teenager, I started my years as a graduate of the Central Falls High School. I was probably one of the very first students who went through the ESL program. At that time, that program was just being created.
With cheese and ketchup in the side. Vine acá hace 5 años y siento que fue el día de ayer. Siento que el tiempo pasa muy rápido. La primera vez que yo vine, entré a mi freshman year en high school y me entraron a la clase de matemática en inglés. Yo no sabía nada, me sentí súper perdida y fue una experiencia que nunca voy a olvidar. Pero ahora que veo el tiempo, me doy cuenta de todo el tiempo que ha pasado y todo lo que he aprendido viviendo acá. Me hizo sentir como si no pertenecía en ese momento, primero por el idioma, luego porque pues era otro país, nuevo sistema.
Providence and Central Falls are, you know, they're majority minority districts where most students are students of color. We have a lot of immigrant students. We have a great deal of refugee students as well, which, you know, brings both a real life to our school districts, right? Because we have folks from all over the place. But at the same time, right, it requires more resources, right? Because there's things like interpretation that's needed. There's a great need to help folks navigate a new school district. That's something that when I got to the States, like my parents and I got zero support in.
De hecho, fue creo que todo, porque la verdad yo estaba perdida en eso de los distritos, las escuelas, qué es lo que brindaban, qué no. Tal vez por la falta del idioma, que es el inglés, yo no tenía toda ese conocimiento al principio. Cuando yo entré al proyecto dije, oh, wow, no sabía que el distrito podía darme esto, puede darme lo otro. Entonces, ¿qué sucede acá? ¿Por qué no están actuando? O sea, y mi opinión, pues, es lo que yo necesitaba. Entonces yo digo, ok, me di cuenta de todas las cosas que yo tenía que no sabía. La verdad fue algo increíble. Yo estoy muy agradecida por haber estado en el proyecto porque me aprendí literalmente desde el principio todo. No tenía idea sobre cómo trabaja el distrito ni nada.
At the end of the day, education is the thing that is going to really help us. And as immigrants, especially a city like Central Falls, where you have probably 80% of our families being immigrants, I think it's key for them. And again, I always tell them, these are the tools. We'll give you the tools. Build your toolbox. The more information we give them, the more powerful they become.
Hi, Joanne. Hey, Jeanette. How you doing? How's your day? Good, and yours? Good. Good to see you.
So my name's Jeanette Perez. I'm a mom of 3. I am actually a Providence School alum. I graduated, I think it was like '04, and my kiddos are from Providence, so they actually attend Providence schools as well. I'm currently helping with SCORE in Central Falls. I'm a parent liaison.
So, as you will remember from the last 2 or 3 months of the work that we've been doing, we started out with an enormous pile of interview and focus group notes, which we went through, read through, wrote post-its of the things that struck us. We then grouped
So
those
SCORE
into
came
cleaned
about
up
because we
reports.
saw that there was a big gap in what school districts are measuring and what community members care about. You know, a lot of times when you hear about school accountability, we hear about these measures like standardized tests that don't really tell you how communities are doing, particularly when it comes to racial and educational equity. So SCORE came about so that we could sort of flip that on its head, and measures could be created by the community to see how the districts are doing.
We all came together to kind of discuss the findings from when we all went out to kind of interview different parents, staff, admin, youth. But there were some trainings on like how to interview people, how to read certain types of data, how to read certain types of research. We had someone who actually is, she worked like through Rhode Island College. She came in and specifically like trained us on how to be researchers.
We have all kinds of requests from different organizations, mostly colleges, to come and do research with our students, with our families, with our community. And I always want to be mindful that it's something that is valuable for the families or for us as a district to learn from that process. The thing that really stuck with me, and I think that's why I was interested in obviously discuss it with the superintendent, because without her blessing I couldn't say, yes, come and do it. It was the fact about teaching, about providing, again, the tools to the group of members, for parents, for students. To me, it is such a beautiful opportunity, because here you're doing an intergenerational thing. It was going to be an opportunity for both parents and kids talking about specific things, learning together, looking at data. That it's amazing. It's like that's the type of skills that you want to develop in every single student, to question. And same thing with parents, to question us, to hold us accountable, to ask anyone those sort of questions.
The SCORE project, you know, that we've done in these 3 communities, it's taken a long time. This is a year-long project. We're working with the community research teams. So they developed their own research methods, spoke to community members about their experiences to try to, you know, make sure that the scorecard, sort of this tool that comes out of the end of the project, was grounded in community. And once they developed these indicators, they started building the scorecard, the actual tool.
It's sort of working and identifying very parallel things that we as a district are identifying. For us to have that conversation coming from the students and the parents really validates what we're trying to do. And so to me, that's holding us accountable when they said, you know, parents feel very confused. They feel that all those text messages don't work. That's a way for us to learn with them and from them.
And I definitely feel like having the data and information is a form of like empowerment, because it gives, like I mentioned before, it gives the families like the tools they need to support their kids within the education, to support themselves and to thrive.
Something I would tell school districts who are interested in this work or who are interested in equity work in general is to be open-minded. Like, you're gonna hear things from the community that you're not gonna wanna hear. But that's part of the work. That's part of the healing that we need to do as a community in order to get the schools that our young people and our families want and deserve.
Now that I feel confident that I can speak English, I got into school and I am studying biological sciences, and I'm planning to go to medical school because I want to be a surgeon. And I know it's sometimes hard and funny to say because people said, are you crazy? You think that you can do that? You can be a nurse, you can be a medical assistant. I'm like, no, I want to be a doctor. And I know I can accomplish that if I look for the resources, and because I feel more confident and I have help from my community now. So I think, yes, this is possible, and I look forward to throwing in this country, and everything is possible.